Good morning, class 6th. I hope you all are done with all the previous chapters taught to you, both in terms of explanation and written part. If not, kindly complete your work. Today, we are going to study a new chapter, that is chapter 4, sorting materials into group. But before moving forward with your explanation, let me tell the meaning of this sorting materials into groups. Sorting means to arrange or separate systematically. Materials means things or object present in our surrounding. Group, when we put one or more similar items together, it forms a group. Okay. Now, let me introduce you with your chapter with the help of an example. Suppose you are in departmental store with your parents. The term is departmental store. That means there are departments. Okay. And what does department mean? Means you can say a group or a area where a similar kind of items are available. So you are in a departmental store with your parents. Your mother wants to pick up grocery. Your father wants to look at some paintings, and you want some chocolates and candies for yourself. The three of you head in three different directions in the departmental store. Why? This is because all the objects in the store are categorized into different sections according to their types. Such organization is convenient and it also leads to better management. So, in this chapter, we will learn in detail about basis of classification of materials. It is only the variety of life which makes it interesting. So, look around yourself. You see people of different culture, speaking different languages. Some of them are engaged in different professions, eating different food, and pursuing different hobbies. That is not at all right. Let me give some examples. There is variety in all the goods that we use in our lives. Clothes that we wear are of different colors and designs. That is red, green, blue, yellow, and shirt, t-shirt, tops, kurtas respectively. The containers that we use for storage of items are of various shapes, that is conical, cylindrical, cuboidal, etc. The sofa sets and dining tables we use in our home are made of wood or plastic. So based on these observations, we conclude that all objects have different shapes, colors, and properties, right? Now, all objects are made up of a large variety of materials. Let me clear this with some examples taken from your surrounding. Number 1. Clothes are designed from cotton, linen, jute, nylon, etc. Second, we use glass, stainless steel or plastic crockery in our home. Third, furniture is made of wood, plastic or even iron. Fifth, leather, plastic, resin is used to make bags, shoes or jackets. Fifth, vehicles such as scooter, car, buses are made up of steel or plastic. Therefore, we can say that objects around us are made up of large varieties of material. Now, let us discuss objects on the basis of their shapes. Again, I'll take some examples from our home. A box is a cube or a cuboidal, whereas a ball is a sphere. A bucket is cylindrical in shape, whereas a washing machine is cuboidal. Thus, we can say that we can classify objects on the basis of their shapes as well. What if I'll ask you to arrange all the materials in your surrounding under the following headings? Here are the headings. Yes. Circular or spherical objects, cuboidal, cubical objects. So in our surrounding we have clock, plate, ball, tire. They came in the category circular or spherical objects. On the other hand, we have washing machine, pencil box, table, book. They came in the category cubical, cuboidal, rectangular shapes. Okay. So now I can say that we have observed from the above classification of the objects that circular spherical objects form one group, whereas cubical, cuboidal, square-like or rectangular objects form another group. Such a classification allows us study and analyze properties of different shapes. For example, if I'll discuss some of our daily routine here. Number one, the first object you use as soon as you wake up is your toothbrush. Have you ever wondered what is it made up of? It is made up of plastic. Second example is the plate you have at your breakfast table is made up of melamine or stainless steel. Another example, the cupboard where you keep your books and clothes is made up of iron or wood. The books that you read are made up of paper. The shoes you wear are made of leather, canvas or resin. Thus, all the objects that we use in our daily life can be classified on the basis of the raw material used in their making. Now we will discuss states of matter. Before that, I must tell you what is matter. Anything, that means anything that has mass means some weight, and occupies some space, means anything that has mass and occupies some space is called matter. For example, your pencil box, it have some weight and it also occupies some space, right? Another example is milk or water. They both weighs in liter and they occupy space in container they are kept in, right? One more example is air. But you must be thinking how air can be a matter as we can't even see it. So how it will occupy space and how it will have some weight. But remember your balloons, when you inflate them, they expand. This is just because of the air. And your air occupies space is cleared with the same example. Now, also remember your helium balloons that floats in the air. This is because helium gas is lighter in weight, right? So I hope it is clear from the above explanation that air is also a matter. Therefore, now we can say there are three states of matter. Yes, exactly. We have three states of matter. Number one is solid, like food, containers, pencil, ice, etc. Liquid, milk, juice, kerosene oil, etc. Gas, we have oxygen gas, carbon dioxide gas, steam is also one of the gas, example of gas. You will be amazed by knowing that your water exists in all the three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. For example, if I'll say ice, it is solid state of water. If I'll say water, it is liquid state of water, while steam is gaseous state of water. Thus it is clear that all the objects that we see around us or use in our daily life can be classified on the basis of three states of matter: solid, liquid and gases. We have been looking at different bases for classifying objects, that is materials, Have you wondered why such classification is important? We have studied lots of properties, lots of examples, but why we are studying about classification? Why it is important? In our daily life, we come across many materials. Sorting materials into groups plays an important role in our daily life because it is easy to locate similar objects by placing them together. So, sorting materials into group also facilitates study of their properties and allow us to observe patterns in their making, behavior, the way we use it, etc. etc. So today we have studied about the different materials, different properties, right? And why we need to classify materials. Let me revise some of them. Objects around us are of different shapes, colors, and state. Objects are made up of different materials as well. And these objects can be classified on the basis of their shapes and color. Okay, they can be classified on the basis of their state of matter, that is liquid, solid, gas. Another basis for the classification is the raw material from which that material, that object is made, right? And sorting material is another important point to be discussed. It is important as it allows us to conveniently study the things like properties and the particular pattern of the matter we are going to study, object we are going to study. It also allow us to locate them easily because we put similar things together in a group. Okay, now activity 1. Activity 1 is just asking us to collect as many objects as possible from our surrounding and classify them on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. I'm repeating my point. If you want to group any material, you need to find out similarities between some of the materials and dissimilarity between the others. Then only you can make two groups. If all the materials are similar, you can group them together. So there is no another group to compare, right? So we make group on the basis of some similarities. If the material is similar, we keep them together. If the same material is different from other, we make another group for that other material. Okay, yes. By the help of this sorting, we can separate the material and we can somewhat group them according to their use, their use and their convenience, right? So there is table number 4.1. In this table we have some objects and the material they are made up of. So this is the classification on the basis of raw material as discussed earlier. Activity 2 have given some example in the form of table 4.2. We have different objects and the material from which they are made up of. So they are asking you to complete this table and they are asking you to add another material of your choice in the table in this column number 1, and you can write there its example, right? In next lecture we will study about properties of materials. Kindly go through this, read the chapter once, and if you want to ask any of the query, any of the question regarding the explanation, you can ask me. Thank you.